Hey, it's Miss Cool coming on here. Somebody's got to be accountable for who's running this country, right? Do you agree that someone must be accountable? Can we agree that, excuse me, people have the choice and the right to vote for who they want to vote for without either being killed or murdered or beat up or, you know? I have to say that I happen to really care for Donald Trump. I have to come on and talk about, this no kings and all this other stuff because I find it odd that people are, have you seen the parades? There's a lot of very different people that are marching around out there. And, you know, it's really okay if people are wanting to, just agree that there's two genders. You can't force people to agree on things that they don't want to agree on. Of course, there's a way to do it and a way not to do it. But I haven't really seen any rocks being thrown in cars, killing people this time when Charlie died and got shot and murdered here in the college by us. I haven't seen any police buildings being burned down. I haven't seen any marches, anybody out of hand. What I did see is a lot of people praying. I saw a lot of calm people. I like that. Everybody has the right to say what they want. Everybody has the right to freedom of speech without being murdered and killed and shot. And from what I realized about the No Kings is these are people that are very, very angry that President Trump has been elected as our president. That's the first thing I noticed. And it was their opportunity to really show the hate and the anger, not just with President Trump, but it also with Charlie. Okay? So the Christian that was shot for having beliefs about genders as far as, male and females, is that okay if people believe that there's two genders? This is without being shot and killed. Nobody's saying that you're not accepted, that you're not loved, okay? What people are saying is what they believe and what they feel. And a lot of the people that are with the left and are talking about their freedoms. Well, while they're talking about their freedoms, it doesn't seem like they want to respect other people's freedom. Everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe. If certain people want to believe, that especially, coming from a mother, I'm a mother, what your child is. So you're coming into a land of parenting, a land of mothers and fathers and genders and males and females, down to a dog having maybe a litter of 7 pups. We want to run up and grab them and turn them over, and we want to say how many females and males there are. So for people to come at people and say that we can't think that way and that we shouldn't feel that way and how shameful we are if that's the way we want to be, then you could be wrong. Not could be, you are wrong. And all this fighting over Trump and genders and anger and hate, and it's like, I had this song on and I put up some posts and I was like, just take them down. Just take them down. People are getting angry. People are mad, and America is the land of the free, and if we're going to go by history, we can talk a lot about freedoms. We really can. We can talk about genders. We can talk about you're on stolen land. Well, where do I go? This to me is history. But today, is there any peace in the world? Anyone respecting one another? I never really realized how bad it was, because I don't even have the freedom to wear my Make America Great Again hat, my MAGA hat. I don't even have the rights without being attacked on YouTube or any channel. I want to put up something I find dear to my heart, you know. But there's patriots out there that don't really care. But I care because I don't want the fighting, you know. I turned on the radio the other day and it was just like that older song, you know, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. It's like, it's impossible. It's like, wouldn't it be really cool if people are like, so you voted for Donald Trump? That's cool. That's okay. You know, there's been so many fighting in families and friends, and I've had to block people on Facebook. I just don't want to just see it anymore because I get triggered and I want to participate in it. You know, I want to put up, you know, maybe Donald Trump with a crown, which has been a lot of them, and, you know, and just the people. Have you noticed the people in the parade? Now, I don't want to put them down a lot, but there's some different type of folks walking around in these parades, these no king parades. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. What's interesting to me is the genders, fighting over presidents. And people wonder why, you know, Republicans are just like common sense. I mean, my president just got back from Israel, you know, and was there for the hostages. He's exhausted. And I liked it. He came on and said, you know, I'm no king, you know. I'm actually working my ass off. And I think there's proof in the pudding with that. I think we can see everybody's sides, but we also have to take a moment to look at what President Trump is actually doing and has done since he's been in office. You know, of course, there's no president that's perfect, you know, but what we can notice is the things that have been accomplished. Do I like Biden? Absolutely not. Do I have sympathy for him getting older and the things that he let go on? Absolutely. But I have to stand up for the people that were murdered and killed. And a lot of you out there want to say, well, there's a lot of people here that aren't immigrants, you know, that have done the same thing. But that's not what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with people. It's the law that you have to be here legally. Why is that so hard for people to understand? Why? I just don't get it. I love culture. I love all the different cultures. But what is wrong with running on laws? We've always had laws. We've always had kings. A king is basically, biblically, a president. That's what's so funny to me. It's like a lot of people just biblically do not have any knowledge. We've always had politics. We've always had kings. We've always had them. No kings. You can't rewrite history, folks. There's always been kings. It's laughable. So if you don't agree with Trump, that's okay. All of us didn't agree with Biden. You know? And there's a lot of stuff that need to be sit down. Everybody needs to sit down and calm down and talk about it. If folks believe there's two genders, that's okay. If folks believe that it's your choice, of course you have the freedoms to do it. But as far as Americans go, they're using a lot of money for transgender surgeries. They're using a lot of money for things that the United States, the citizens do not want to participate in paying. These ideas are coming from the left, some are coming from the right, and both people are kind of warring over money and where it's going and the purpose of it. And probably what Biden has permitted. He has caused a lot of trouble. And like I said, you know, I believe that, you know, what I put out there could come back. So I don't want to speak ill of him, but I don't like Biden. He made some terrible choices, and I'm not going to sit and do a bash on him and his age or what's going on with him, but I will stand up for Donald Trump. I will stand up for him and what he's done and what he's accomplishing and how he gives his pay, you know, to other people, doesn't accept that. And this Bernie, I really, Bernie Sanders is something else, boy, in the AOC. To listen to them talk about billionaires when he's one himself. It's really interesting politics. And now I can see why all my life growing up, people are like, don't discuss politics at this table. Do not discuss faith, religion at this table. So if you really don't do that, you can acquire stronger relationships, loving families. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. I don't really want to fight with people about Gaza, the Palestinians, how they've suffered. But what I do like is watching the UNICEF trucks go in and the food. And I guess we can blame a lot of people for a lot of things. But let's be accountable today to just point out what our beliefs are and how we want to be treated. And that we can't rewrite history. You really can't, you guys. I mean, this no king thing, Trump is not a king. He's a president. But biblically, if you open your Bibles, we've always had King David, King Solomon. We've had so many different kings throughout the world and different countries that, President Trump can be honored. I honor him. Millions of people voted for him. So we've got to understand that his policies, and it's his turn again to do things. And I see a lot of good. So with that, let's have love today. And if folks believe in two genders, male and female, we have that right. And no one's taking that right from people. If you want to be a transgender and you want to change your sex, that's your business. But what's my business is not saying that a man is a woman or a woman is a man. But you can have that if you'd like. But calmly, we just say we believe that there's two genders. And I don't want to infringe on people's rights. How could you anyway? It's how you're approaching it and the love that we can have for one another in our differences. So I love President Donald Trump. I think he's doing wonderful. I'm thankful the hostages are home, what's left of them. And we can't rewrite history. That's number one. So as far as the Gulf of Mexico being the Gulf of America, as far as Columbus Day for the Italians, being turned into, Indigenous People Day. I think Indigenous People Day is wonderful, but don't eliminate Columbus Day and turn it into it. Just leave Columbus Day alone and the lasagna and all the Italians in the world. And there was quite a few of those at the towers and New York and lots of Italians I grew up with. Let's not remove that and say it's Indigenous, Day, People Day. Let's respect natives. Let's respect Italians. Let's respect cultures, If people are upset over different things, there is peace right now. Let's hope and pray there's more peace and that they can rebuild, and stop wars. Though these are just common sense things, okay? So I know it's hard. For years I wanted to fight back. I've pulled down a lot of posts that made me feel like, well, take that. And I'm like, that's not who I am. That's really not who I am. Any child that's killed in any war, anyone hungry, hostages, slaves, holocausts, countries, lands, borders, I just want peace. And it's Miss Cool just talking about that today. But I do respect my president. And may the Lord bless you today. Everybody has freedom to choose what they'd like.